us to be fake. They teach well, and they teach us to be fake, and they teach us to be different.
So that was my baby. Go catch out the full video. I just put that. I just stitched him because he was basically just saying like he feels like in the black community that we as parents teach them how to be fake, how to be different people. And I just want to touch on that a little bit. Number one, I love my kids' growth. I love their individuality. I love seeing what God helped me create. And I just love it. Like it doesn't make me feel no type of way. I love that my kids are are seeing things and viewing things and getting their own perspective on how they feel, in this world, right? But I just want to say that with that, I ask for our kids to give us grace. And I say that because we were raised by parents that also had certain standards where you're absolutely right. I couldn't be the Sierra I am at home that I am in church. I couldn't be the same Sierra in church and at home that I have to be at school. So it does put you in a like state of like, who am I? What do I really stand for? What will I take? What will I not take? And as we're growing, because we're renting our parents, right? That's why they're called parents. We're renting them. So we're supposed to be taking all of the, we're going to see the good, we're going to see the bad, we're going to see the ugly. Now, when we go and create our own family, or when we are growing up and now we have a better sense of who we are as individuals, now we're supposed to pick off like, okay, well, I do rock with what my parents did here, but I absolutely don't rock with that. I can take that, I can use that, but I totally don't agree with that. And we need to start applying those to ourselves. And we're building ourselves up because we are not, you have my kids, I tell them, they have never been the ages they are, and I have never been the age that I am. So there is no book to say, oh, when you're this age and you have this many kids, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how it's supposed to go. We don't have that, and vice versa. That my kids range from 21 to 17. You ain't never been that age before. You never went through some of the things that you gone through. Your body hasn't done some of the things that it's done before. So you're forever changing. And I will go back to say that I tell anybody, one thing that remains the same is change. We are supposed to evolve. We're supposed to, find like, dang, I just didn't like the way that felt. When my mom or my dad talked to me that way, I didn't like the way that felt. So now, while I'm in my adult stage, I'm going to do how I feel like Sierra needs to do that. Will it be right all the time? Shit, hell, I could be wrong. But that is the beauty of figuring out who you are. It may not be right. It may not be the right thing to do. That's the beauty of finding yourself. That's the beauty of finding that, will that work for Fred? No, I don't like the way that feel. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way. We all have to, you know, just grow. And I don't believe in certain spaces that we're being fake. I believe that we are being respectful to certain situations, because at times I have a potty mouth. I absolutely have a potty mouth. But in my psychotic mind, I think if I go to church and I curse, it's gonna like, I'm just gonna get shunned even worse. That's just because I've been conditioned for so many years to be like, you better not cuss in church. So it wasn't like, oh, you better not cuss in church or don't cuss nowhere. It was, you better not cuss in church. You know what I'm saying? So it is in a way of figuring yourself out, not necessarily being fake, because I can't say my parents are fake because that's how their parents raised them. Like, we just have to give our parents grace. They did the best they can do with the knowledge and the resources that they had. So as we are making families, as our kids are growing up, you know, now it's time to rearrange that mindset. There are some things that I allowed my kids to do that my parents were just like, well, why would you do that? And there's some things that I wouldn't allow them to do that my parents was like, well, I would let you. So it's just different from how we were taught, what curses we're trying to break, what we're trying to build for the long run in our family. And I just, whatever that looks like, I just hope that we don't continue to think that that's fake behavior. There's some behaviors that we do have to unlearn, but that doesn't make us fake, because we're only fake now if we're choosing to do that. And from our own perspective. But a lot of us, almost 99.9% of us, were born into and raised in a certain way. And it was to respect certain places, respect certain people. Like, my mom doesn't cuss. So how dare I sit there and spew all of my potty mouth on my mom when she just doesn't curse? That'd be disrespectful. But I do understand it's almost, I can't be my authentic self in my mom's presence because I'm not allowed to cuss. But we're not supposed to be cussing anyway. So in a way, I feel like God is like, okay, like, you're doing a respectful thing. Now let's practice that throughout your entire life, not just when you're around your mom. So, we have to peel back and just see what works for us, what doesn't work for us. And I'm learning now to give my parents grace where it's needed. I'm not saying I'm a sucker and everything they what's the name, because I don't condone everything and I want what's the name, but I do give them grace where I am now as a parent looking back and saying, like, geez, this is really a difficult situation. I can see, I can see the bad, I can see the good and what I've done and the decision I made. But being a parent is very difficult. Just like it's y'all first rodeo at being teenagers, being young adults, it's my first time being 40. Oh, I don't know what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? But I know I'm striving to be the best human being that I can be. So I hope that helps you out, Fred. And, some of the other young adults that feel like, dang, my parents are teaching me to be, we're only doing what we were taught. And we are trying to break that mold. It's difficult. It's not going to be broken like that. Some of the things have already been broken. Some of the curses have already been broken, but it's most likely going to be your generation, maybe your kids that just keep breaking the mold, showing us a different way to respond to things and evolve. So everybody just give each other grace and know that I'm not purposely teaching you to be fake, but to be respectful in all aspects. And you can't be that way. Well, you can. Let me not say that. You can be whatever you want. You can act however you want to act in whatever circumstances you want to. It was taught to your parents, like, this is the respectful thing to do and not to do that. So I hope you continue to find yourself and see, what the world, can become to you. All right. Peace, love, hair, grace.